We'll call to order the April 2nd, 2026 meeting of the Saugatuck Historic District Commission. First thing is a roll call. Sarah, would you help with that, please?
Sure. Baldwin.
Here.
Canarza.
Here.
Dean. Lampin. Root.
Here.
Patterson.
Yes.
And Straker.
Yes, we have quorum. Any changes, additions, deletions? Nothing, and nothing else? Okay. Has everyone had a chance to read the minutes of the meeting held on March 5th? And if so, do I have a motion to approve?
Chair Straker, motion to approve minutes of regular meeting held on March 5th, 2026.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion on those minutes? Okay, all in favor signify by saying yes.
Yes.
Yes. Opposed? Okay, they are approved. Any public comments on the agenda items for tonight? Don't see any. No unfinished business. One item tonight, which is new business, 322 Culver Street. Welcome. Grayson, do you want to give us a quick overview on this application?
Yeah, absolutely. So at your seats, there are a few additional materials regarding the structure. I do want to point out one thing that I spoke with the owner about is there's a zoning issue with it. Outdoor dining can't go past the building's frontage, so it will need to be shifted over. And I'm sure some of you seen coming in, it is already up, but the owner has acknowledged that, and it will be taken down tomorrow morning before it gets appropriate approvals. So the pictures are actually of the structure that they built, and it would still need to get approval from you all before it is able to go out.
Grayson, can I ask one? So this is going to have to go before, are we the first
Yes.
committee? Okay, so it's going to go before us, zoning
Yep.
and planning also, or just us and zoning?
Not zoning.
Oh, I'm
Just
sorry.
Planning.
Yeah, just planning.
Us and planning.
Yep.
And does it go to council at all, or is it just us and planning?
It does go to council, but for the revocable license agreement.
Okay.
So it's a little bit side
Okay.
that part will take place after they receive special land use approval, which is where we'll spend most of the time addressing exactly that, the
Yep,
location of it, and making sure
Okay.
the dimensions are appropriate. So I did have them supply the materials that they plan to use. There's the dining tables, the lighting is there, and then perhaps the owner can talk a little bit more about the stain that's being proposed. And
I just want to bring up one thing that was in our packet before we get going on this one. Staff's, I think everyone probably has read the report and staff's recommendation on this, that it be tabled. It was originally recommended that it be tabled because we didn't have the info. But seeing as it hasn't gone to planning and it will be a different thing than we're approving tonight, and we don't have that different thing, not in photos, not in real time. I'm not sure we should be approving vapor or what will be. So the recommendation in the packet is to table. I don't disagree with that. The only other thing I'm going to mention is, and I know you'd like to get this up and running. Unfortunately, I don't know that is the case, but we have had, rightly so, people who have come to a meeting and what is in the packet when it is distributed is not what is ultimately decided on in the meeting. So we were doing pretty good for a long time there of, if you don't have your materials in by the time the packet goes out, nothing else can be added to it because it doesn't have the chance for public review. And that's one of the reasons it's put out into the world. So I appreciate this level of detail. It's not what we'll actually be voting, and no one has had a chance to see it. And I do feel like this might be something that people would have an opinion on. So those are my comments, but
Is there, I'm sorry.
go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there, what I'm not entirely sure on is what the purview is for the historic district. Is there a way that we could get a motion to a place that it could get it fine for staff approval at that point so that he doesn't have to come
Yep,
back
I think that's fair.
in front of us?
Yeah.
I think that that'd be nice, and that way he can get it going as soon as he gets whatever
Yep.
he needs to do, the planning, and then the applicant doesn't have to come back before us, and so.
So with that, do you want to go ahead and do our normal round robin of what we think about the application? Or maybe we ask the applicant to introduce yourself and share with us, based on your conversations with Grayson and the city, what you will be doing and how that relates to what we're seeing in our packet. And then then what we'll do is we'll have a quick conversation about all of that.
The podium, please. We
Yeah.
can't hear you.
And then it'll be recorded if you're at the podium, it doesn't record.
Sure. So I'm Jim Wall and bought scooters in May of last year. And part of my business plan is and was to do this. And did the best I could to provide initially what you all needed. I knew there would be some things that came up that I needed to address. And that's why I'm here, is to answer any questions you might have about what I'm doing and to find out exactly what I need to provide. Because we want to be in compliance and to go forward as quickly as we can, because summer's coming.
Season's short.
Yeah, pretty quickly, and it is a short season. I did want to let you know, I did already speak with my neighbors next door, and they're only using part of one of their spaces, the parking spaces in front of their building, and they're happy to move down so that ours can be in compliance with the end of the building.
So would it be the total mass of what you have just moved down?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you're not shortening it.
No,
Okay.
And the Mexican restaurant will still just be in front of their restaurant?
Correct.
Okay.
I'm going to jump in real fast. So since this all started with COVID, I think to me, there's always been a question of like, these are not permanent structures. Like, what is our purview on this? I think the things that have been approved, and I think last year or the year before was the first time they've finally started coming before us just to make sure there's compatibility in the district. Like I tried to think back to the constant elements of what we've approved, which has been a feeling of temporariness, a feeling that you could like look through, like there's transparency in it versus feeling like a structure. And, sort of somehow blending into the streetscape, and not detracting from the structure, like not pulling focus. So that's what, in my mind anyway, that's what our role would sort of loosely be against the guidelines related to contributing and non-contributing structures in the district. So anything that gets close to feeling like a structure that stands out against a structure, that's when I think we would have more of a point of view on like what it is. Otherwise, if you think about what's been done around town and what we've approved, and I don't remember how many of us have been through that in the last year or two, we generally approved things that look like they sort of were put out and roped off in a day to create this area. Like we've never had a point of view on furniture. Like that comes and goes. We've only had a point of view on how does it relate to the structure. So for whatever that's worth. Thoughts from you guys?
I would add to that, that we wanted something that looked nice and would blend in, but also enhance that corner. And so that's why, it is a solid wall, but it's only 3 feet tall, and we're planting it with herbs, flowers, different things to
And you're
hopefully
gonna,
blend in with the.
what color are you gonna stain it?
It's a I believe it's called mahogany.
Okay.
There's a photo that I don't know if he put it in your packet or not.
Yeah, it's here.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna
One of
put
the
like,
the bigger picture. We had all of those other choices, but if you'd prefer some other color, if that helps, I'm certainly happy to rethink, our plan there.
Comment here on that. Usually we don't chime in on color, but in this case, given what Tim said and given the color of that building,
Mhm.
there is a sense of, I don't know, connection, I guess, but the fact that how tall are the plants gonna be? Just there'll be the feeling of see-throughness is what I'm
Yes.
getting at,
Mhm.
because it is pretty short right now compared to
Yeah,
all
we
the
don't,
others.
we want to enhance the view that people have of the river. One thing that happens, we have tables on the sidewalk. Cars pull up against the curb there and you totally lose the view of the river. So this would sort of maintain that, having this space out there because people would be sitting out there instead of, cars being there blocking. Even people walking by, when an RV an SUV comes and parks there, it does block their view.
Would you still have seating on the sidewalk or?
Yeah. Mhm. Yeah, everything that's existing currently, we are going to lose one table. The entrance to the area is,
I got you.
it's only 3 feet wide, but there was a table there on the sidewalk, or next to the sidewalk, so that'll go away.
Pumpernickel's and the Mexican restaurant next door both have outdoor seating and so does Wix, correct?
Mhm.
I think Pumpernickel's and the Mexican restaurant are sort of similar, but Wix seems more permanent, doesn't it?
They have like barrels and rope, I think.
I think they changed that.
Did they?
Yeah, they've been
Last year they did something different.
Hmm.
Yeah, it was a little more substantial.
Mhm.
The wine tasting place down the street too has more of a
Mhm.
solid wall around their area.
The
On the other side
the
of the
liquor
street.
place.
Yeah.
Next to
New Holland.
New Holland, yeah, New Holland,
Oh,
yeah.
oh, yeah.
They do have
theirs
them.
They did something out there, yeah.
Taller
Yeah,
and solid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I had just a couple of questions. I noticed last night there's lighting on it. And there's a vertical LED light at the,
we put that out there because we knew we were only going to be there for a day. It should have come down last night, but
but is there a long-term plan for lighting around that?
yes, it's on the
I saw
diagram.
that.
There'll be carriage lights, like the black carriage lights on each corner, and then landscape lights within the flower boxes all around.
And reflectors I see too.
And there will be reflectors, yes.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
So
There's pictures.
are those lamp posts then, those carriage lights that you're talking about, or are they gonna
The
be down?
carriage lights, see the base there where,
Yep,
yeah, a solid piece in the corner here that will be attached.
up to the top of that, not up.
No,
Gotcha.
it'll be at the same level as the lights are about this tall, or maybe this tall.
Sarah, are you able to bring up the guideline that they noted in the summary?
In the packet?
Yeah, in the packet. I just want to make sure that we read that. Yeah, I understand your comment too, Tim, about the mass of that. I just wanted to make sure that we all.
Who would make that decision? Us? About the mass?
One person's point of view is if it
There we
feels
go.
like, yeah, it's perfect, like structure. I mean, it has a floor and walls. But floor aside, if it feels, we also have to squint, I think, to John's point, and look at it with stain.
Yeah.
Because it diminishes it.
Yeah.
A lot, I think.
The floor was intentional so that people didn't
Yeah.
have to step down off of the sidewalk. I thought that was a trip hazard when people leave the area. So I wanted to make it level going off of the curb there is why we did the floor, but and
Yeah,
I didn't consider the permanency of the
Yeah, the
look.
only thing I like to do is go through the guidelines a little bit in my own mind and say, if it meets the guidelines, and that's always debatable, it's approvable. And I just wanted to make sure that there wasn't anything, and I think that's the most specific, that guideline is the one that we want to make sure that we're happy with that. But yeah, I share your concern too, that the mass. This is setting a little bit of a precedent for the types of structures that you're gonna see around town as well. Because I don't think we've seen one that is as closed out as this or as detailed as this.
I think Bodie's was,
Bodie's.
Yeah.
Bodie's was, yeah.
And I think that New Holland is too.
Yeah.
It's a different way. It's like big planks, I think, that are thinner, doesn't have the planters. So
Okay.
So we don't have any restrictions as far as like, oh, they can only have so many tables if the inside has some, there's nothing like that that would, I mean, and that wouldn't be under historic anyway,
That
so.
wouldn't be under us.
I mean, to me, it's just really B and C on there, the compatibility of the exterior of the structure, space around with the visual or historical context of the surrounding area.
Yep.
Impact of the exterior of the structure and the space around it on the village, rural character and contextual aesthetic of the city. Those are pretty,
Mhm.
I mean, subjective.
Yeah, yeah.
Items.
Um, I think temporary stuff for us is a slippery slope. I think we're gonna have to be, this is not about this, it is about this, but, every time something else happens in a temporary way that sort of feels like a structure, whether it's been done before or not, it's gonna be a slippery slope for us.
Remember when Retro Boat Rentals came because they had put up a screen, a shade screen? And again, it's temporary because it's not up all year round. And it was kind of debatable, like, is that in our purview or whatever, but it was out there and it's in the historic district and we went through and did the approvals or whatever. But to me, by the very nature that it's seasonal means it's temporary.
Well, I think if he came to us before he built this and asked our advice, we wouldn't say build this.
We wouldn't, yeah, I think we would have said something that felt a little more, I'm not questioning the quality, because I think your
Yeah.
quality looks great. Questioning the temporary nature of it, but I think it's subjective.
Yeah.
The thing, I mean, your question about the lights, I'm so glad to hear you say that LED landing strip is temporary.
Yes, no, we
Because
just wanted to be seen because we didn't have the reflectors up yet and it was going to be dark and so we
Yeah.
just
Yeah, not to be
put
picky,
something on there.
not to be picky, but make sure that the temperature is the same as all the other lights you have there on the outside of the front of
Sure.
the building.
No, it
This is
makes
my
a lot of
personal-
sense.
Soft white,
I-
soft.
You see one
100%.
at 7,500 and the other one
For
at
sure.
1,200 and you go. Okay.
Yeah,
So
no, it's,
Do
That's
we
good.
want to structure a motion that reflects staff approval, like under the following conditions sort of thing after?
Mind if I just say
Yep.
one thing quick? I know that you guys are debating whether it really counts as a structure. The zoning ordinance would define it as a temporary structure still because it's not permanently affixed to anything, being the ground or building. So it does still meet the temporary structure.
Oh, that's good to know. Yeah.
Okay,
Say it again, it does.
It is still a temporary structure.
not connected in any way.
Yep.
Okay.
It's not like you built a deck that was connected. I understand.
with an awning that's attached to the building,
Yes.
that feels like structure, right?
That is.
It's not that.
Yes. This, yeah,
Hypothetically.
feels like.
Someone like to make a motion?
I can take a swing at it, I suppose. Nancy here.
Very good motion.
Um, so let me just get the outline of it. So we need to make a
Yeah.
motion to approve this pending staff approval with contingency that the staff approval on final design and structure. I mean, I would say something like that. Okay. Motion to approve applicant's request, with the contingency that he receives staff approval on the final materiality and mass placement.
Thank you. Do you have a second?
Second.
Any more discussion? All in favor signify by saying yes.
Yes.
Yes, opposed? Thanks for working with us.
Yeah.
thank you.
Thank you. Good luck this season.
I'll stop in and see us.
I absolutely will. Thank you.
Thanks for.
Thank you.
Administrative approvals are noted here. Anything to add to those? They're just signs.
They both were just replacing the actual base of the signs. They were pretty much we're keeping the same structure.
Any more communication?
If I may ask one question, was there a consensus on the change in color on that deck? The color he wants to stain it, did you want to see something lighter?
No,
No,
We don't
okay.
color approve.
Yeah, we don't color approve.
we don't color approve, but I think maybe we didn't say it as clearly, but darker goes away,
Yeah,
lighter.
Perfect. I just want to make
that's
sure.
why it's jumping out so
Yeah.
much right now.
Yeah.
He said, I just heard him say mahogany,
Yeah.
which was.
Yeah,
Yeah, and that is what he proposed.
that's what they
The
showed,
big picture
Yeah.
too, the one was being stained.
the lady staining, yes.
Any more, does Jamie note taker have any comments?
I don't think so. Never seen it there before, so.
So, anybody have anything on commission comments? I just have one
Yeah,
thing. Go ahead.
Could you, after you're done with your comment, could you expand a bit on the slippery slope piece?
Yeah,
You don't have to do it first, just,
No.
I'd like a little more clarity on that.
actually, I think like retro is a good example of that's temporary, but it's 2x4s with canvas over it. And
It was big.
it's big and that's an amazing structure. I mean, like the retro boat building is charming and whether it's listed as contributing, it feels contributing. And so if something is just sort of put up with the idea of being temporary without being additive or compatible, I don't know. That's what I think that's one part of the slippery slope around temporary. The other part is if somebody does something that's temporary and feels even more substantial than this,
Yeah.
like it had a floor.
I
Like-
think Leah's comment was really good that we probably would have had a
If
different
we'd seen
idea
it.
about what that should look like. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure it would have passed the muster.
But then I'm so conflicted on that stuff. So back to your point about temporary, next door to it, the Mexican restaurant went and bought prefab fencing and wrapped lights around it and put it in cement blocks. So that's obviously that passes the temporary test, but it doesn't look great.
Yeah.
And we approve that because what could we do?
I'm just so rules oriented. I come down to
I
like,
know.
let's like, what I think about how it looks really is not part of the
Correct.
deal here, right? Is it legal? Did they follow are they following the rules? And then,
And I think to your point, reading the guidelines, if it is a mass thing is our responsibility. So if the structure of it does go to a mass place of whatever the application is, then I think we have a right to, to weigh in, but
but
you're
even
right.
that, I mean, when he said that, as long as it's, as far as zoning, it just can't be any larger than the building. And if he gets it in that space,
We still trump that though,
okay.
Well-
with guidelines.
I know in Chicago after COVID, people were getting crazy with those structures. Like they had
Yeah.
like, they were still temporary, but they sort of had pergolas on the top and everything.
The place by Mermaid did that the first couple of years. They had swings under a
Where
pergola.
was this at?
Oh, yeah,
Copper Ridge, not Copper Ridge.
the
Coppercraft.
Coppercraft. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
they had swings, they had all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
It looked like a jungle.
I mean, it was a full structure and I don't think we did approve
I
that.
don't think we did approve it either.
No.
Here's a thought that maybe too late, maybe not, but I wonder if it would make sense if we develop guidelines so they all look the same, so we have consistency in the whole town, and then we know
Yes.
that they're temporary.
Well, and my question is, should he came to you first and asked and he built it first and?
Oh, yeah.
So that,
He did come to you first or not? No, no. And he's trying so hard.
I know.
I know.
Well, yeah, I don't want to be like, no one wants our commission to be like the final thing that prevents somebody from doing something after they've gone through all the hoops.
Making
So-
their money in the 100 days that they have to
Correct.
make it and all that.
Correct. It's just for that, I'm always thinking ahead to the time when something is harder based on what we've done previously. So it is what it is.
Put about 5 times the money into it that the Mexican.
Yes.
did.
Yeah.
It's
right.
quality, it's well thought out.
I wonder, will he save it and then use it next year?
I would
Like,
imagine
store it?
so.
Yeah, it's a lot of material.
Investment.
Mhm.
It's a huge investment.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised you did that without just checking with the city
know.
first. Like that is, yeah, but people get
Um,
excited and fly off the handle. I don't know. I don't make suppositions about.
The other thing is I said to Grayson ahead of this, I think we need to be really careful about admitting things in the meeting that weren't in the packet. Because this could have been, we just need to be consistent about it. It could be a project or an application that is a lightning rod that people will have an opinion about, and they have a right to see it in the packet ahead of the meeting. So just help with a complete packet, that's their responsibility. And if it's not complete, I don't want to be in the position to table it because it's not complete. I'd rather it just not get on the agenda personally.
But even for a staff approval, it needs to be complete.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
So this needs to be kind of put together, right?
yeah. Any other comments, commission comments on anything? Okay, do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor signify by saying yes. Yes, thanks all. Quickest meeting ever.